And welcome everyone to the second spoiler cast for Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is for the third episode. I had to make sure I remembered that in the correct way around because my brain would have absolutely screwed that up. And of course, as always, I'm Mitch. You can follow me on Twitter at 692tweets. And of course, I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, you can join me on Marvel the Martian _12 on Instagram.
I said all that in one breath, and now I'm like knackered.
Yes.
Building Lego all afternoon and doing that, just like, oh, I'm tired.
You got like little, your fingers are all, like
they got the tingly where you've been pressing everything together. It's just like, how do my fingers operate? Like, no, it's fun though. I haven't built Lego in longer than I cared. Like,
what'd you build?
Longer than I cared to admit that I've been alive. It's the Lego Technic Bugatti.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the Chiron or something like that. It's been discontinued for a couple of years, but my mother had a birthday recently, and I was like, "What do you want?" And she went, "A new car." Like taking the piss, and I was like, "Getting a new car."
It's coming in a box. Do you mind? We have to put it together.
I was because it's fun fact. It's expensive as crap. Like the thing was like 300 quid, right?
What?
Yeah.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah. So I was talking to people, going like, "Do I do that? Is this like? Does the banter justify the price?" Right.
Yeah,
and
you
then
see a smile on face.
I just kind of went, sod it. I'm gonna ride it. I think it's a fantastic idea. I kind of want to build Lego myself as well. And she hasn't built Lego since I was a kid. And it's like, you know what? It's something different. She's got a story behind it.
It's adorable.
She can go there. I got a new car, and it's like, oh, what car? It's like the Lego car, and like, you get this little funny. No, I think it's priceless on that.
Plus, then, you get to quality time.
Exactly. Yeah. So the last couple of days we've made some decent headroom in that thing. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. But it's massive. It's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this is going to be like longer than the box. But that's a completely different story. That's just been what I've been up to.
Yeah. Well, the Cindy family, we are not Lego builders. We do not do that. We probably couldn't. Our marriage probably couldn't make it through a Lego build. We couldn't make it through a Gundam almost. So I don't think Lego would work any better.
Yeah, it's quite funny because obviously, I've people know me. They know I do the Gundams as well. But you can really tell that I'm used to reading the instructions and doing model kits. And bless the old dear's heart, she's not. She's like, "Oh, you sure?" It's like, look, and there's me trying to steam on ahead and like going like 2-3 steps ahead, and she's like, "No, focus on this one first." It's just like, I need to go quick.
Yeah,
so there's that fun little clash, but yeah, it's fun. But Kenobi, Kenobi, yeah. I'm gonna start this off. If you are one of these people that are just absolutely trashing on Moses, and I can't think of a second name, you can just leave.
Come on, man! Like that. You know what I seen? Just on a side tangent, I seen someone compare the fact that Disney didn't defend Gina Carano.
Yeah, I've saw that, and that's just that's the whole quote fan. I hate this term because they're not part of the fandom. I'm joining everyone else. Like, if you're following like the whole geeks and gamers and that stuff, you're not a Star Wars fan. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a person.
Stop
you're
watching.
Angry little troll. That's what you are, and you're not a fan. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like,
I would say a bit harder than a troll. It's long past trolling.
The last time I spoke against the sacred Star Wars fans, I had to deal with. So I'll stick with troll. But no, I saw that, and I'm like, come on, it's like comparing apples and elephants. Like Gina Carano, what they as a company would not defend a person that is being a hate monger, on a social media platform. What Moses has done, it's not even comparable.
No, it's totally different. One's simply just existing, right? One simply dares to exist and not be white, and that's all it is. And you have these thumbnails with like Operation famous South Park the movie quote, because that's what they took it from. You have that. It's like, oh, it's all woke. It's SJ, and it's like, you're literally just mad that there is a woman of color, there is a black woman in a role, and the white woman was shouted out for being an absolute twat.
I will say this about Star Wars, quote unquote fans, is they're the one fan base that's scared of change. They do not want change. They say they want change, but when the change happens, especially if it's change like putting a woman in the forefront or a colored person in the forefront, it becomes a crazy, hate fest, and like it's just such a sad thing to observe as a person on the sidelines. And it's like you look at these people that quote unquote say they're fans, it makes you kind of sick and disgusting. And
honestly, it's part of the reason why this channel doesn't really cover that much Star Wars.
It's such sad though. It's like
it's sad because I love Star Wars. I'm not the biggest Star Wars obsessive. I'm not like Jared. I'm not going to be an encyclopedia for Star Wars like Jared is and all that. But it's Armin made a video on Star Wars once, and he just got, I think it was like around The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker time, and he just got swamped. And it's like, you know what? It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
I will talk about these shows because I adore these shows. The shows are my favorite Star Wars thing right now.
Yeah.
I
love engaging with the trolls and the comments with the shows too. So
yeah, give me engagement. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're, and it's one you see people all the time going, I'm not racist, I just don't like the actress. That's fine. The problem is, right, if you feel like you have to defend yourself when they're saying there's people are speaking out against racists, then you obviously think deep down there's a part of you that is.
Yeah.
So that's an internal problem for yourself, not anyone else's problem. If you're offended by the fact that some people say that are being called a racist, just look in the mirror. Like, you don't have to like the character, you don't have to like the actor. That's totally fine.
But leave the ethnicity.
Yeah, don't attack her. If you don't like how she's portraying the character, that's fine. Guess what? It's not the actor's fault. That's Deborah Chow's fault.
Yeah.
Actors only do what directors tell them to do. Right.
Yeah. And you can even kind of sometimes say the writers.
Exactly. Yeah. Actors work with what they're given. Right. But they are the tool to get the job done.
Yeah, but I think she's done an amazing job with the character.
I think she's fantastic. I will say, long friend of the show, Richard, he said he doesn't buy the actress being a villain. He says she comes across too nice. He can't buy her being a bad guy, which I found really interesting.
She cut a woman's hand off for her.
She did no, but that's a case of she's doing all this stuff, but like the face is too friendly, sort of thing. Like I can understand what he's coming from with that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can understand it. I'm like, that's a very interesting point that I've seen no one else say. But that's totally valid criticism, personally. He's not attacking him. It's just like you look too friendly.
Yeah, I mean, and it's an opinion of his. That's not but it's not like an opinion that is just like blatantly attacking someone for the color of their skin or their gender, But like, I don't necessarily agree with that. But
no, I don't agree with the slightest. I think she's doing a fantastic job. Right? Yeah, it's totally fine. No,
but I saw that. There's always got to be some drama in the Star Wars community. It's just
the only time there hasn't been was Mando season 1. Mando season 1 seemed to be the happy perfect time, and then
season 2,
Gina Carano had to come in and ruin the damn thing. But
yep, and
that's her fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of good that you want to weed out those fan base, get them out of the Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Go watch Twilight or something. I don't know, or something from Kirk Cameron. Like Left Behind or something like that.
What gets me the most is it's like all media literacy seem the second these people see anyone like Reva, they just lose all sense of how a plot works. It's like, how does she know Anakin? How is she here? How It's like if you literally watch the first 5 minutes, right? This is how stories work. There's literally a little black girl with braids in the Jedi Temple. She runs away. Why do you think we're shown this plot? And then the next thing you bloody see is this, an older black woman as an Inquisitor. Why do you think that is? It's not literally there for no reason. There is story reasons why she's there. And we're going to find out over the course of the episodes, because that's how stories work.
I think they did everything they could, with the exception of her waving her hands, say, look at me, and running away.
All she needs, it's like people want a sign on the kid's back saying, I'm important. Hey,
I'll be back.
Remember me in 4 weeks' time. Please remember me.
I mean, but then you do something like that and they complain about that. But it's like,
that's true. It's like, you're hand holding. It's like, oh, piss off.
It's like, what do you want?
Just don't watch anything, please. No, please.
But I think they did. I think so far this is probably like the most, I think, perfect so far. Like with the minor exceptions of a couple things here and there, but like so far I think they've handled the story.
Yeah,
really well.
I say the only thing I still find goofy was the chase with Leia, or the chasing. I still find those goofy, and I've seen one person on our Facebook group like, oh, the show sucks because of this. It's like, are you like that? As single-handedly the worst take I've seen about the show.
It just sounds to me like, there's nothing else to complain about. So I'll take this
and I'll say the worst take that I've seen, completely ignoring all the racist attacks against Moses, because that's not even about the show. I'm just talking a normal take that's incredibly wrong.
Non-racist people.
A normal take, not a bigoted attack. Two very different things.
We're talking about complaints about the show, not the actual person.
Exactly. Not the fact that someone dares to exist that isn't white.
Yeah.
God forbid. Because now, before it was, Ewan's the golden boy. We can't be mad at Ewan because he's Obi-Wan in the prequels. And now it's like, why is he talking like he's Scottish? Because he's Scottish.
Like I think it was Jared that said that, and it was not like it, but like, every once, I mean, like, it happens all the time. People's accents kind of bleed through, it's just a thing, like he's not American, so.
No, because to me, with Jared saying it's a choice as an actor, and I took it the same way, because I noticed that. I was like, he's sounding a lot more Ewan McGregor than he is anyone else. And to me, it's like, there's this whole meme, and I find it hilarious, of him going, it's, Obi-Wan changes his name to Ben Kenobi so the Empire doesn't find him on Tatooine, where he's looking after the kids, and like it's just this kid painted white against a white wall, and like the Empire is like standing 2 foot away from him. Like, there's some funny memes about how little Obi-Wan actually changed to do it. It's like, he's changed his name to Ben. It stands to reason he's going to sound different, and it stands. That's how I've looked at it. Like, he's in hiding. He doesn't want to be found. Why would he still sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi? He's been hiding for 10 years. He's trying to blend in. You want to change as much about yourself as possible.
I love the take that it was but like like he sounds beaten down. I think that was the indication that like like he's doing what he can to keep himself concealed. He's doing almost going overboard at some points.
I also think it sounds a bit like they're trying to transition it into Guinness a little bit. Because because this is the thing with actors and two different actors playing portrayals and trying to keep a singular timeline going. We're 9 years out from A New Hope.
There's a lot of
and Ewan's got to get from A to B, and like he's got to age a lot in these 9 years. I think it's 9 years, because aren't Luke and Leia like 19 or something in A New Hope, and Leia's 10 here or something like that. I know they're supposed to be teenagers or like 20, so it's around not a lot amount of time between A and
It's a lot of life, man.
It's a lot of sand getting blasted in your face as well. Like, that's gonna destroy your skin, probably your vocal cords. No.
And then his son too. I mean, Tatooine's got 2 sons, so he's got to like.
Let's get
He's gonna look like a leather football by the.
I don't know. He looks like one now.
I love the portrayal so far of him. Like, especially in this episode, like he looks like in the prequels, he's so confident and like I'm I'm brave and stuff like that. But
I would say that for the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
he's cocky and he's confident in that. I think the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he's absolutely not. Because like, how am I supposed to train the Chosen One? Like, I don't. Obviously, he's still got that McGregor Obi-Wan defense mechanism charm.
Yeah, but in the show, he looks like beaten down. Like he literally looks scared.
He looks like Logan. Let's be honest here. This show is literally just Logan. It is that old man with a young kid trope. If that even is a trope, I'm not entirely sure if it is, but it's that plot, and it's. I'm not going to dunk on the show for it because I think it works fantastically when done right, but because this show is 100% working.
Yeah, but I
love it.
I love his reaction to when Vader shows up. Vader looks like he comes off as Jason Voorhees in this show, man. So far, like,
and he's petty as all hell.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think up to this point,
I think you.
Well, I mean, this is the guy that basically burned his limbs off and left him to die on a fire, planet. I would be a little bitter myself, but like, I think you'll gradually see the Vader that we in the New Hope version. But like this, I mean, this I think this is on point for him right now because he's still early, right? He's still
he's 9 years in, isn't it? 9-10 years in? Nice.
So how old was Anakin in what was the last one?
Revenge of the Sith.
Return of the Sith, yeah. How old he was in his 20s, right? He has to be.
In episode 3. He was 23.
Okay. So I mean, he's
like 33 now. He's early to mid 30s.
I was petty when I was 33. So, like,
I mean, I hope you weren't like delimbed and cauterized by lava.
No. I did get a
to be that petty.
Once, but I don't think I lost it.
Because the man's got a whole new level of pettiness. Like, it's kind of wild.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, he's got every reason to be pissed off. Like he's probably, let's face it, like his junk is probably not there anymore. Like it's robotic.
Yeah, well, no, because his legs are above the knee, aren't they? In fairness, laying face down and like near molten lava probably singed a thing or two.
Yeah. Couple inches
probably
up.
Has some scarring in places you wouldn't. It probably hurts to pee. Put it that way. So,
yeah, like
I can see him being
like
a bit mad. No.
Like you get the herpes or something like that. Like it's a burn.
Also, like he bald by 23 is not great for anyone.
Yeah, complexion's pretty bad too. There's no way he's gonna get a girlfriend. But
well, I don't know. Raver's looking kind of that direction. Cool. Imagine the meltdown.
Oh,
I
kind of wish they did it.
It's an unfortunate thing with this show, right? Because we know the Grand Inquisitor is around in Rebels, unless they're actually out to retcon that show, which I think would be a weird direction considering Ahsoka's clearly following that on. So I can't see that happening. So we know Raver doesn't stick around.
Yeah,
for one reason or another. Or at least she's not the Grand Inquisitor after this show.
She's a tragic character.
Yeah, part of me kind of wonders if she becomes like an apprentice for Vader.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe she goes. They're just pure spitball. Maybe she's like the Star Killer in the new canon now. I don't know if that's my brain going like that would be a cool direction, or what would piss the most people off. Like, I can't tell which direction my brain's working on that one, and part of me wants it to happen, but part of me doesn't, just for fear of Moses. Star Wars fans are one bad day away from a January 6th thing happening here. So it's kind of
storming the castle
moment. Yeah. Not that I think they'll go for Lucasfilm, but I feel like something might happen.
George will lead the pack. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
At the end of the day, I'm expecting her to not make it out of this series alive.
Yeah,
or this season, because there's now rumors of a season 2, which I'm all here for a season 2. I'll be perfectly honest. It's been 3 episodes. Yes, you have a 9-year span. Give McGregor the bread. Like, just give him the bag. Like, give him everything. I'd be down for this. 100%.
I looked at Reva as a tragic character. Just
don't do what you did last week. I had to cut that out.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
Chop just this 6 seconds out. Whoops.
But yeah, I love that. I love the stormtroopers like in this episode because they're just like, I love hearing that conversation.
You know what? I totally forgot. I totally forgot about the Zach Braff mole man. That is 100% an allegory for a Trump supporter, and I kind of love and hate it.
But I love the thing. What I love about the show so far is it's very like suspenseful. Like that. Like, Good.
Is the perfect word for it. Like this episode was just intense from start to finish.
Yeah,
it was kind of nuts.
That part where they get in the back of the truck and it just kind of slowly pans out to the back, and then you see the Empire logo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're like, you're looking, and then all they do is stop, and like a couple stormtrooper come on, and like, how are they gonna get out of this one?
And that damn probe droid just flies around the corner. You're like, oh no. Like, oh no. Oh.
But yeah, but I still think that my favorite scene is that like the minute Vader comes onto the scene, it's just like.
Which one? The one in the village, or the one where he's in the castle on
I love the village.
I can't think of the planet. What's the planet called?
I forgot.
I keep wanting to say Mordor. I know it's not Mordor, for God's sake. Where does he have his car? It begins with an M. I know.
Yeah, I know. The lava planet. It was called.
Yeah. What is that planet? I can't carry on without knowing. Mustafa, that's the one.
Mustafa, yeah.
Which is, I tell you, I question my own sanity sometimes. I always want to call it Mustafa for obvious reasons, but it's not. It's Mustafa. And then I try and think of it now. My brain's going more.
Is that the Lion King?
No, like any M word, my brain's. I'm certain. I need to go to a doctor.
It's hilarious.
I tell you. I've got like
it's not Lion King or Lord of the Rings. So.
No, it's right in the middle. Yeah. So, I love that shot of Mustafa where he's just sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
A thin wind. I adored that. Absolutely.
I don't think we've ever gotten this many Mustafar scenes. In.
Well, you had the one in Rogue One.
Yep.
Rogue One had one. Not that it was that long. He essentially just walks out of a room, chokes a dude, and then walks back in. Which, cool, that's Vader. Yeah, this one, I'm liking it, to be honest. I like the fact that they've had his actual castle showing up more now. It's now a thing, not just hey, in the homework it says this. I'm all here for
Mustafa.
No, that village thing was fantastic. Just Jason Voorhees all over the place.
Like, it was more scarier than the scene in Rogue One. I thought the Rogue One scene was great.
Have I said what about the Rogue One scene?
You said you didn't like Rogue One. I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not a. Yeah. I like the scene with Vader, but I feel like you can definitely feel it's tacked on.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel it's a last minute thing, which, in fairness, it's a good addition because it makes sense for where that ending of that movie is and the start of A New Hope. But it's like, okay, this is definitely tacked on. But Kenobi's definitely, I think, got the best Vader.
Yeah.
This man just doesn't stop. Or he doesn't.
And we got the real Vader too, you know, like Hayden.
Yeah, that was a surprise because I take it Hayden's just literally doing the physicality of it. He's taking over that role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing when you hear that voice, it's like, how much longer have we got left with this man?
They probably put that poor guy. They locked that poor guy into a sound studio, recorded so much dialogue. So when it
need you to read the dictionary as Vader. Every dictionary to ever exist and will ever exist in every language. We need to have this voice.
And please sign this release form saying we can use your voice.
If you won't do this, at least let us have a voice changer that lets anyone sound like you. We can't have any. Yeah. It's one of those where no one wants anyone else to voice Vader. You can't. Obviously, the cartoons have got different Vaders and that, but it's like the live action one is just too iconic.
I'm afraid of the day when James Earl Jones passes, because that is going to come. It's going to come down to a decision on what they're going to have to do if they're going to decide to make more Vader appearances. Man, they're going to have to. There's going to be a lot of fans. There's going to be a very divisive decision be made, you know.
Yeah,
just like every other, you know, when an actor passes or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, as long as they get paid, who cares? Like, you know, like I don't know.
I think part of me is like, a voice is fine. If it's voice work, you can kind of get away with it. Don't Tarkin anymore. Leia for me was a different context because, you know, she was a key part of that film and the family signed off and the family helped out with a lot of that stuff as well. See, Tarkin felt wrong. Well, yes, he had to be in that movie, but he felt wrong. You know, never.
I think the Tarkin one is kind of a Frankenstein monster in my opinion, but like, I'm not opposed to it as long as the family or the estate is involved in some way, and they're agreeing, you know, not, you know, being strong-armed or anything like that, but agreeing to allow this to happen and getting compensated. I mean, but like the Tarkin thing is kind of,
if it's gonna have to happen, like, yes, you know, give the family the money, you know, pay them like you would have paid the actor, but it's.
But the Tarkin one was kind of
disturbing. Right.
I think the Tarkin one was kind of like proof of concept. You know, like, what's a character that really nobody really cares about?
Tarkin was literally Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was.
It's like, hey, look, we made a thing. Shouldn't have made a thing, but we made a thing. Like, okay, Disney, well done. Of course, you would have done it, Disney. God damn it.
I mean, come on. It's what's next? I think the next thing is cloning. You know, they're just gonna. Like,
I mean, if that's the next thing, Tamara Morrison's gonna love that. He's like, "Hey, cool. I haven't got to bust my ass this much now.
We can really do this, man. We can really make a clone army."
You'd be like, "Hey, can I have a Django Fed? Can I have a little Django, please?" I tell you, that man. I watched his interview with him, Star Wars Celebration, the other weekend, and I can't tell if he's genuinely that bombastic and full of energy, or if he's like snorting some stuff and he's high in the clouds. It's like, is this man actually legit, or is this like some Charlie talking? I can't. Couldn't tell you.
Only thing I can say is, like, I guess you'd be very excited if you're being paid for a job. You know, like, it's not like he's doing a lot, and you know, and if Disney's saying, "Hey, come on over, do this, do that," you know, like, I would be very enthusiastic about that too, because it means I'm getting paid.
I mean, yeah, there's that, but he's.
But I can neither confirm or deny.
He's on something. He's definitely on something, because the poor interviewer, when he's doing all the stuff, is like, her face is like, what the hell is he doing?
Hold on. Can't keep up with you, dude. Slow down.
It's like, I want to sing a song. It's just like, you sing a song, Tim. You do that. It's fine.
It's an interesting video.
He's wild. I love the guy.
Could you imagine?
Man's wild.
Could you imagine the person that has to interview that guy next, and like, man, do I really have?
I feel sorry for the guy or the person that's got to interview Tem when he's coming down.
Yeah, I would hate to be the guy that has to be the personal assistant of him if he's doing that stuff, man.
Oh yeah, you need to be quick because that guy's all over the place. Like you would absolutely use Tem in a heartbeat. Right.
Here's another line: bump up, get back up, get you in the car. You'll be dressed.
I gotta wear the clone armor. I finally get to wear the armor.
Whatever you need to do. All right, Tamara. He always does this. He wants to wear the armor to the McDonald's.
I can't remember if it actually adds up in the timeline, but if this is such a fan service thing, if they had like Tem be Rex, I assume Rex is gonna appear in something somewhere. It's like Rex is still alive at this point in Kenobi. Like, can we get Rex? Can we get like something? Like, just anyone, or even like if Cody's coming back in the Bad Batch season 2, which that's hype as hell. But like, can we get like Tem in Rex and Cody, like all that sort of like? Can we get these guys, please?
I just want the bum clone to come back in some way, shape, or form in this episode.
Poor. It's like, can we see Tem in the armor, but not as a hobo?
I love the hobo Tem.
I love hobo Tem. Hobo Tem was great, but can we get peak clone Tem? No, I'd like that. Not Boba Fett, as he called himself.
Yeah. But where do you think this is going?
I'm not entirely sure. This is one show where it's not like the Mandalorian. It's like, Darksaber, cool. I know exactly where that thing's going.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing that apart from like there's got to be maybe I assume he's gonna fake his death, and then that kind of leads it more open for A New Hope to be as it is without retreading on toes. Like the Grand Inquisitor's got to come back because of Rebels, and there's this and there's a bit more.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I haven't got much of an idea. I really hope Quinlan is in this show, or at least something with Quinlan happens in somewhere.
Yeah.
That is a massive name drop to bring up in this show, and just kind of not gloss over, but it's not. Yeah, they drop it a little bit, and I can't tell if it's like if Quinlan said that, if your eyes are closed, you see, or the way, or something. Yeah. Kenobi says something after he brings up Quinlan, and I can't. It seemed more important than I think people are letting on, because no one's really talking about that line. It's like, is that a Mandalorian thing? Is that a Quinlan thing? I'm only saying Mandalorian based purely on the way part of it, but I don't know. It seemed more important than it.
It might come back. It might actually come back in later episodes. Yeah.
Or season 2. Apparently, that's going to be a thing. I
kind of want to know why Reva's so mad. Like, she's so emotional. With Obi-Wan. Like, I have, and this is just me spitballing. It's not. Don't take it as gospel. I feel like she is holding him responsible in some way. I don't know.
That's the impression I got. Yeah, it's she. Just me trying to put pieces together and spitball here a little bit. The whole Order 66 bit from the first episode and seeing clearly young her run away with a group of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet she runs into Anakin. You're gonna see Anakin in or Hayden in that sort of era. She's gonna go with him. She's gonna be some kind of apprentice, something growing up, like a bit of an arm's length situation where she knows Anakin, she knows what happened to him. She holds it against Kenobi as much as Anakin does, and that's why she's so desperate. And she grew up never really getting the approval of Vader and all this and that, and yada yada yada. That's how I kind of feel like that arc is going.
Yeah, I see her as very angry, emotional. And there's a reason why, I guess, because of this.
Yeah, she's got
We'll find
something
out.
to prove to herself and to
Oh, wait,
everyone.
100%. If you look at this earlier scenes with her and the Inquisitors, it's like they don't even treat her the same.
Yeah,
She's wearing the armor. She's got the,
Yeah.
she has all the abilities and weapons and stuff like that, but they don't consider her an equal. And it kind of feels like maybe it's like it feels like a woman thing where like, oh, you're
I took it more as a Jedi. I think the allegory for the female in the workplace is there. Obviously the show's presenting that through you were a Jedi, even though the Grand Inquisitor was a temple guard.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I that's my assumption.
Just because they look down as Jedi's being scum, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the Inquisitors are just turncoats, basically.
A lot of them, yeah,
like,
yeah. I find the Inquisitors so interesting. I could watch a show just based on them.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're all different as well. Like no two Inquisitors so far have had the same motivations or anything.
Yeah,
and they're all wildly different personalities, all wildly different tropes, and we haven't had an Inquisitor like Reaver before. Like, they're all different, and they're the Knights of Ren done right.
Yeah,
like, it's like, oh cool, these guys are actually interesting, and we have something with them. I just need to see the little helicopter fly.
That Knights of Ren thing is super disappointing. It's like
I wouldn't mind seeing a show about those guys. I know Kathleen Kennedy said we're going to be doing more stuff in the sequels and stuff like that, right? Or sequel timeline. Like, yeah, cool. Give me some Knights of Ren stuff. Actually, make them worthwhile. Right.
Well, they were a non-thing in the prequel sequels, anyways. But they were built up in the advertising as some big thing, and it just never panned out.
Yeah, and then one big thing is standing around like a boy band in the desert, like cool. You had a scene. Is this a Boy's Own cover or is it Knights of Ren? I can't tell.
My Chemical Romance or something.
All they needed was the white shirt, like unbuttoned in the wind, and it's a boy band. Keep the helmets on and everything. It's still it's perfect.
Yeah, they had an interesting look, and that's where it stopped. It kind of reminded me of like Boba Fett in the beginning.
Yeah, they're the Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's like the Boba Fett effect. It's like they look interesting, but they just don't do anything. You're
exactly right. But, the only thing they do is die. Right. Cool.
I don't even, like. This is a testing of how they are just a non-entity in my mind. Is like I don't even remember them dying. In any of the things, it's like I just don't remember anything. Even in the last one, it's just like I know they were in a lot of the scenes, but I just don't remember it because it just never stood out to me.
Yeah, because all they did was just run. They didn't do anything. They had one little chase scene. They stood in the desert, and that was pretty much it.
They appeared.
Oh, they fought Kylo at the end in the temple. I think that was it.
Yes, you're about a stormtrooper stance in that opinion because like
pretty much,
stormtroopers do more than that,
No, it didn't help. They didn't have any speaking lines or anything, so it's kind of just.
But it would be interesting to see like their backstory and maybe fill in a lot. They got a lot to fill in. I mean, they got a lot to play with because there's nothing, talk about.
Exactly.
But
as long as it's take away from me getting an Inquisitor show, because I would absolutely watch that.
Yeah, I mean. Of course, like it's like they're like they're not bounty hunters, but they're like Jedi bounty hunters, really. But that would be interesting.
Oh, Nazi hunters getting the Jews.
Yeah,
Really what
always. The analogies are strong with this one.
I mean, it's just Star Wars all over, isn't it? Right? The whole analogy.
Yeah, it's true. I mean. Look at the stormtroopers. I mean, that's just
exactly. But back to I really liked those in this. That's just how casual they were.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on a minute, you look a bit funky. Like, what are you doing here? It's like, oh. And then, of course, it's the smart one. He's like, oh, you said her name wrong. And it's like, crap.
Yeah. They do this. like Deborah Chow does this thing where it's like it's very common in movies and TV shows, but she does it like really well, where she just like ratchets up the tension with like him misspeaking he's the one that he thinks that Leia is going to be the one that kind of blows the cover,
expect the kid to cock everything up, but actually it's the.
It turns out it's like one guy that wants. Yeah. But like like it's a very tension-filled scene because like you're sitting in front of the people that are hunting you, and like they're not the smartest people in the universe, but like you can put one and one together, like the minute she says something like by accident, he goes, oh wait a minute, like a light bulb appears above his head, and that's the one thing is like.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say the one thing that got me is like Obi-Wan they should know what Obi-Wan looks like, because there's like probably wanted posters everywhere of this guy, right? And it's not like he did anything to kind of hide that he didn't shave the beard. If he shaved the beard or just something that kind of made him look different, but like he looked just same, in the.
Yeah.
But then again, though, like if I remember correctly, the wanting poster was what he looked like in like the prequels, right?
I can't remember.
I think it was. I take it back because I think it was because like he wasn't hiding way before that. The only time that they could get a picture of it, I'm sure, was like.
Yeah, the last picture they would have been like Revenge of the Sith era.
Yeah,
like 10
and he does
old,
like.
So.
Yeah, he smells a lot, so I mean, I guess that throws him off too.
Could smell him in Anchorhead, like God damn, this man.
Like everyone never smelled like this, man. Like this can't be everyone.
Obi-Wan don't stink, but Ben does. God, woo, no wonder the Sand people are angry at Ben. God damn.
But how are you glad that this is not a Luke-focused show?
It was a surprise, but a pleasant one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're gonna be. Of course, it's gonna be focused on Luke, but then the more you think about it, you're like, yeah, he didn't know, or he knew of Ben Kenobi, but he didn't really know him, and it's like, well, how does Leia even know about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Hey, this is that story. Like that's that. No, I like that.
I love the fact that like she knows of him, but she doesn't know what he looks like, because like Bale would always talk about Obi-Wan, but never really. She wouldn't know what he looked like, but it's kind of interesting to see that, because like we never really got a lot of Leia in the show, in the movies.
No, she was just there to be the damsel in distress princess, like
for the most part, or die for a broken heart.
But this show to me is like Rogue One done right. You've taken like a line. Because like, how does Leia know Kenobi? It's never explained. Hey, here you go. Here's that story. And then, like, you actually, yes, where the characters are going and what it's leading to, but it's a well-told story, and you actually give a crap about people. Whereas Rogue One's just like, no one cares. They'll die.
They're all dead.
Here's a Vader scene to make this movie memorable. Because
dead part. I still think that fight, the space scene, the space battle, and the battle on the Scarab.
It's fine. It's fine.
It was fun. Sound like an old curmudgeon, man.
I am an old curmudgeon. It's totally fine. It's the fight, the space fights is good. It's the entire third act is the best part of that movie. It's just there's no reason to care about it because you know exactly what happens. There's no tension. All the characters die. Cool. I didn't need this movie, but that's just me about Rogue One again. I will die on the hill that Rogue One is everything that's wrong with prequel syndrome. And even above Solo was bad with prequelitis, but like goddamn Rogue One, the worst.
I think out of the two, Solo is the worst offender to that.
Solo's the worst movie, but it's not the main offender. Like Solo has a slight purpose to exist. Rogue One doesn't. Rogue One has no reason to exist whatsoever, and I will forever die on that hill. It gets brought up. I will forever just.
Nope, you're wrong. There's nothing to do.
No, it's got no reason. But anyway, Kenobi good. Kenobi great.
Yeah.
I could watch this show for like a year straight. Just literally give me, just make this show an hour of Obi-Wan's life, and I will just watch it for the rest of my days, or until McGregor goes. That's totally fine with me. I can live with that. I think that's gonna. Unless you got anything else to add?
No.
No. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say I seen him at a burger joint a couple weeks ago. Nice. I can't remember. Yeah, I see a lot of people like that eat hamburgers, but I've never seen a person eat a hamburger like the way he ate it. But
I'm intrigued now. You've got my curiosity. How did he eat it?
He ate it with a fork and knife. And
I know people that do that.
Really?
Yeah, my mum does that. Yeah.
I never get that. It's like, what's the point?
I don't get it. I think it's weird as fuck. It's just like
I'm like, I love you. You're a great actor, but that's just freaks me out. Like, here, just wear some gloves. For
I mean, I assume it's the I don't want to get any down, drop anything on you.
I mean, but it just come off kind of like
it's weird.
I mean,
it's totally weird. Yeah.
In LA, it's kind of like it's not as weird, but if you go to places like New York, it's like if you ate a hamburger with a fork and knife, people would actively come up to you and say, "You're doing this all wrong. Why are you doing this?"
See that's just the whole cycle of weirdness, because who's gonna why would you walk up to someone?
Oh, it's New York, so
that's true. Yeah.
It's New York. People come up to
you forget about it. Go on.
People come up to you for weirder things.
Yeah, it's why I'll probably never go to America, because I'm terrified. No. Probably get accused of invading because of where I'm from.
Why are you eating a hamburger this way? Where are you from?
It's not even ham, it's beef. Why'd you call it hamburgers? That makes no sense.
Stop, you're freaking my kids out. Stop.
Stranger danger, get away from me. Anyway, that will bring this episode to an end. So thanks for joining. Next week we will have Kenobi and Miss Marvel, because we are in a busy time. Moving forward, it's going to be kind of wild. So yeah, we'll catch you all next week. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.